What's up guys, this is Dim and today we're going to do a little preview on how to do Timeless Isles chest grabs with absolutely no gear. So this actually came from a request with the Boosted 90 video on people were asking how do you do Timeless Isle. Unfortunately, all my characters that were level 90 had completed the chest run. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to accelerate the path in between the chest grabs and then slow it down when I grab the chest, and hopefully try to keep the map up throughout most of the video. So what I do is I grab the introductory quest and grab the first couple, the Timeless Tour and Time in Your Hand, which will give you a couple extra coins afterward. And then you just simply, I have an add-on which I will post in the description that shows you the location of the one-time chests, and once you access it, it'll take it off the minimap. And simply what this is, for those of you that aren't aware, this is actually the world of ketchup. And by ketchup, I mean this gives you access to level 496 gear. It's not the greatest itemized gear, however it is 496 epics, and you have a chance of getting them in any character slot. So you can get a trinket, you can get a neck, you can get rings, you can get any piece of armor, and you get it to 496. You can also get what's called a Burden of Eternity, which will make that 496 item a 535 item. So use it sparingly. There's one guaranteed one, which I will show you. However, I've gotten as many as 2 per run. Now, what you want to do, essentially here, is I have absolutely awful gear. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of Timeless Isle trying to fight their way through like you would a normal zone. And to me, that doesn't work. You don't want to do that. These are some of the hardest level 90s in Mist of Pandaria. And if you aren't geared or know the kill method for each of these animals or mobs on the island, your time is going to be really, really hard spent. So, like I said, I have, I believe my character level is about 412 or 414. I had just freshly hit 90. This is not a boosted 90, so I didn't get the 476 gear. This is, I just finished questing and I'm 90 with my hunter. So, the gear, as you can see, it just doesn't do any damage to these guys, and any little hit is, thirds of my health. So, I go into Timeless Isle with the assumption that I'm going to break the gear that I'm in. Yeah, a lot of it is actually suicide runs, and you'll see why. To me, I mean, some people, now keep in mind, this is my own take on it. So I go there to do the one-time chest and get out, and there's some that I avoid. Like there's ones on top of a hilltop that you have to get hit by a bird and drop off. I don't do that one. There's also one where you have to swim underneath a cave, and that can get kind of tricky, and if you die, it takes a little while, so I don't do that one either. Now, the one that you see me doing now, this is actually to get the guaranteed Burden of Eternity. And if you look on the mini-map, we're actually going all the way to the end, into the fatigue zone, flying straight up as far as we can go until we hit the invisible ceiling. And what we're going to do is we're going to slow fall, because Timeless Isle, of course, doesn't allow flying mounts. We are going to go all the way up to the top until it no longer lets us, and it'll get us pretty close to the end of fatigue, and we're just going to drop. Now you'll see that I went a little bit too far, but fortunately for me I have disengaged, so I'm just going to go ahead and disengage backwards, land here, and die. Now normally what I would do is I would res and go back there. However, I only had 1 second on the res timer, so I couldn't use my corpse, but it still puts me on top of Timeless Isle. Now, the inner part of this is actually reserved for the people that have the legendary cloak. However, if you don't have the legendary cloak, you can go to the side where we're going now, and as you see, this is a suicide run. There's all mobs here that I definitely absolutely could not kill, so I let them kill me, and now I go to the further point to res, go in, and further my advance. Now here is the chest that will get you the Burden of Eternity. And usually there's 2 other epics and the Burden of Eternity in here. So this is a great chest. Now for me, of course, it dropped 2 Timeless Curios, which is useless for the character that I'm on, because they are unique equipped. And we're done with this top level. There's only 2 chests up there, so I just went ahead and dropped down. There's just no reason to hang out there anymore, because I don't have the legendary cloak on this guy, or any of my characters for that matter. And now we're just going to go ahead and grab the other one-time chests. Nothing too out of the ordinary with them. And like I said, you can kind of track my progress where I'm going. Now, keep in mind, like the sleeping panthers, if you go behind them and you don't touch them, it won't wake them up, which is good. So over here, the reason why I'm slowing down and stopping actually is this location here. If you are high enough of a cook, this is where you will get the thing for the noodle cart. So that's where your pickup for the noodle cart is. So just make a note of that in the description or in the field there. And yeah, so with the items you drop, the percentage chance of you to get a spec relevant or armor type relevant drop is much higher percentage. So this guy is more likely to get mail pieces than any other pieces, but you can get other armor type drops, which you just send off to an alt, and if you get somebody else to hit level 90, you have the piece waiting. So like I believe I got like a plate belt, or maybe a cloth robe or something like that. And so you just hold on to them or don't use them if you don't have any need. But yeah, so some of the chests just drop coins, some of them drop an armor piece, and then those big chests drop the one guaranteed one drops the 2 epics and the Burden of Eternity. And again, any one of these chests can offer drop the Burden of Eternity. So here you see that I'm just getting the chest, and then I'm gonna just get destroyed, quite frankly. And again, it doesn't. I don't do the runs to to survive. And like I said, some people do it the right way and grind it out properly. But especially with the gear level I had there, it just wasn't worth it. So there you see, that area has a lot of aggro from the frog, so I just went there and let it kill me. And then I'll just res right next to the chest with nobody there. And I can move along. Of course, that chest had no epic drops in it. And this time, don't follow where that guy went just now. That was actually a wrong turn. I make mistakes too. Sometimes. Not very often. But yeah, so there's a number of chests throughout the island. And there are other quests that you can do if you want. Some people really like grinding out Timeless Isle. I'm not a huge fan. And that's up to you. So you see here, I snuck behind the tigers or panthers, and they didn't do anything. Now this house area is a place where you're going to find quite a bit of deaths. Fortunately, there's actually a spirit res guy right next to the town that you're going to die in. So it's kind of convenient. So yeah, just loot your chest, die, or go into the room where you're going to loot the chest, immediately accept res and start clicking. And that should put you there. So as you see, we still have aggro, and we're going to get the underground chest. And again, I have absolutely no regard for my personal health here. If he, to quote Rocky, if he dies, he dies. But yeah, you see, there's tons of mobs that you bring in. That one wasn't too smart. I ran right into a whole pack of them. But yeah, you just kind of do quick sprints in, and who cares if they kill you? Sometimes, and if you're lucky, there's people there that will that are farming the mobs. So if that's the case, then you can just walk in, and everything is hunky-dory and easy peasy. PvP servers are a little bit different here because you can get world PvP is kind of encouraged here because you can get Timeless Isle coins and stuff from killing other players. Now that sounds good in practice. However, if you have a really out or undominated or dominated server, it could lead to some issues for you. So I just ran away and got rid of the aggro. And now this is the first of the jumping ones. So you're going to jump. You have to stay mounted, because if you don't stay mounted, you don't have enough speed to go forward. But if you just run and jump to the end, you will over jump the platform and have to do it again. So this is one of the chests that you get from doing the jump. And then there's one more that I'm going to show you that will put you on a I call it the tightrope chest. You can call it whatever you want, but it is a kind of a maneuvering one that you have to kind of finagle in order to get it. And you can follow on the map where I'm going. So what I do is I dismount, make sure you have all click to move and everything off. Then what I do is I zoom the mouse out and look straight down onto where you're walking. Because remember, there is momentum in WoW. So if you drop straight, he's actually going to move forward a little bit as he's falling. So you have to make sure that your fall distance is straight in line with where you're going. So what I do is I just take my time, because it does take a little while to ride up here. As you saw, you go all the way around the aisle, pretty much. So again, here, I just snap. I make sure let the camera snap straight on. and make sure that what I'm doing, or when I do this, it will drop me straight down, which it did. And I just go little bits and pieces at a time. This is obviously slower than what a lot of people do, but it, to me, is the safest way. And safe is good, because if even the time that you save by going a little bit too fast, if you slip and fall, you have to die, and then you res all the way around. You have to run down, and it's not really all that fun. So again, I line it up straight ahead and slowly edge down and drop. And then you have one last final part of this, which is the actual location of the chest. And again, this you can overshoot, and if you overshoot and go to that grass landing beyond it, the platform is actually raised high enough that you will not be able to get to it, so you will have to do it all over again. So take your time when you do this. Of course, this all that effort, it didn't give me an epic drop, but I actually have gotten a Burden of Eternity out of that chest, so it is one that you don't want to miss. Now the remaining ones are just standard one-time chests, but I want to show you all the ones that I access, all the ones that I get. Which, like I said, is all of them except for the ones where you have to get hit by a bird and picked up, and then there's one where you have to swim out and underneath to get in one, and it's actually kind of a pain in the butt for me. I don't know why. I never really liked swimming in WoW, so to swim and then if you die, have to swim again, it just bothers me, so it's not worth the one chest to me. For you, it may. It's actually the one I'm referring to there is the one on the far left of the screen, you'll see. So here, again, I got aggro from the snake. Now, these snakes are kind of a pain in the butt. They actually have like a maintain aggro distance of like twice as long as everybody else's. So just keep that in mind when you're running away from them, that they don't give up all that easily. Remember, this video is accelerated quite a bit, so to give you an idea for how far they're going. And I believe this was the last of the chests. Yep, that's the last of the one-time chests. And what I'll do is I'm going to go back around, and to complete the quest, you have to talk to the two pandas next to the Emperor. While you're here, get the time-worn journal. Trust me, the next quest is going to ask you to go buy a time-worn journal. So you'll definitely have the 500 timeless coins. Just buy it while you're there because it makes sense. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back and get it. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn in the quest that I got. This will give you a satchel or an armor piece of your liking. So I chose obviously another mail piece, and you'll see the quests are completed. And there's the quest for the Time Worn Journal, which they actually give back to you. And from here, we're just going to go ahead and put the Burden of Eternity. I use the cloak. I like committing to the cloak because the armor pieces, sometimes you want to upgrade with the set pieces, and you're kind of at because the 535 is higher than the LFR from Siege of Orgrimmar, so I like upgrading the cloak. You can't upgrade trinkets or rings, so to me the cloak is the best choice. And I'm just learning these as soon as you right click learn them, you learn the item based on the spec that you are. So if you're like a prot warrior, be careful with that, and that's how you get your gear. And I'm 480 something with that just after that run. So listen guys, this is Dim. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in Azeroth and in the next video. Bye.